Do you view marriage as a vocation?
Do you want to go first?
You can. Ladies first.
I hadn't really thought about it before you asked the question. So I would say, yes, I believe God calls people to be married or to be single. Yes?
Yes, I believe the same. It's God's calling, to be married.
Was it your life calling to get married and have children?
I don't know about a life calling. Am I supposed to be looking at you or looking at that?
It doesn't matter.
I don't know about life calling, but when I was little, I just presumed that I would grow up and meet someone wonderful and get married and have a family. And I guess I got to older teens and thought, is it going to happen or not? And then when I met Rico, I was hoping that it would happen. I was 19, or 18, nearly 19 when we met. And I don't know about life ambition, but certainly something I had hoped for.
Well, I didn't know the future, what God had in store for me. So it was from India and then to Australia, and I didn't know really how God was going to plan this, but I knew He had a hand in all of it. And then I met Natalie, and that was it, love at first sight, and we got married.
How much do you love your spouse?
To the moon and back.
Heaps.
How long have you been married?
This is our 25th year, coming up 20.
It'll be 25 years in December.
In December.
Is marriage what you thought it would be?
Well, not really. I thought marriage would be a bed of roses, but it's not. It's much more than that. It's hard work, and with one another's help and God in between, it will work.
It's not what I expected either. I think when we're young and we're growing up, we read a lot of things in books and magazines, and we watch things on TV and see movies, and it romanticises marriage as just being this amazing, you meet, you fall in love and live happily ever after. It's actually a lot of hard work that goes into making a marriage work. So it's not that it's bad, it's good, but it's challenging. And I don't think we really expected that, because how do you know what it's going to be like before you do it? So it's something I certainly don't regret, but it's not easy, and it's not what I expected. There are days when you don't particularly like each other, but you need to still love each other. Yeah.
How important do you think it is for couples to support one another in their vocations?
Well, it is very important, and like Natalie said, there are times we have our ups and downs, but I firmly believe in the Bible where it says that let not the sun go down on your wrath. Okay, you've got to make up and go to bed. Okay.
Yeah, so if we've had an argument or a disagreement, we do try and sort it out before we go to sleep, because if you leave it, then the next day when you get up, if you haven't sorted it, it can just linger longer. But if you can deal with it before the sun goes down, that's a good way to go. And prayer is a really important element of that as well. And we will have time to read the Bible and pray regularly. Most days, there's a few nights where I might come to bed extra late because I'm up doing work or whatever on the computer. But generally speaking, we have that time of devotion as a couple, as well as individually, and that's really important. Rico's been a wonderful support for me with my work and also my study that I've done over the years. And he's also been very supportive of my voluntary work that I get involved in. And if I didn't have his support, it would be very difficult to do those things and to enjoy doing those things if there's a conflict. And I try and be supportive of Rico and the things that he's interested in. I ask about his work days and want to know what's going on in his life, in his vocation. And I also encourage him with the activities that he does at church, because he volunteers for different things as well. And he's had years of being involved in soccer, training kids with soccer and being involved with our own children and their soccer teams. And again, I've supported and tried to encourage him to do those things. I think when you get married, you share a life. What we had at our wedding was We two are one, which is an Indian sort of saying for we two become one. But in saying that, you don't have two people who are suddenly just one identity. You are still separate identities. You still have things that you're interested in or not interested in. And I think you need to recognise what is different about each other and support that, and support each other towards your goals, but also recognise that the marriage is what brings us together, and that God is a strength in your marriage, and that together you'll seek God in prayer for direction. You'll seek God together for wisdom. Certainly with raising our children, we've had lots of times of talking and praying about how we proceed with different things with raising our kids. So we've got one purpose and one God who leads us, but we are still two individuals, so we two become one. And I think you need to find that balance of having your own life and still pursuing those things that you feel challenged to do and have a purpose for doing, but are also supporting each other as one couple. And
prayer is very important, I must add, because we also pray for the future of our children and for one another, that God will support us in whatever we do, in approval of the things that we do.
And give us guidance when we don't know what to do.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.